Everyone, and Palace are back to winning ways. This is my reaction video to reaction/review video. Palace winners 2-0 away at Burnley. I'm so relieved we've got this game done and over with. I know that a lot of fans were going into it quite confident and thinking, yes, finish this horrible run of fixtures. We're into now some winnable games. We had a great performance against Liverpool. We're going to come into this game and we're going to get the points. I wasn't so sure. I really wasn't. I thought that if Burnley played to their strengths, they put a lot of long balls in. I feel like away to a side like Burnley, they're not going to have as much as the ball as Liverpool did. So we wouldn't necessarily play the same way in terms of our pressing game and the way we attacked from, we really pressed high in that Liverpool game and we really attacked from the front. We defended from the front as well. I don't think it would have been the same sort of game. So I thought that, Burnley would have caused us a lot of problems with corners, set pieces. As I mentioned in my preview, it didn't really turn out that way. I thought our game plan was fantastic. Obviously, it changed to the back four. We knew that it was touch and go whether Cahill would be fit. He ended up not starting. Kelly coming in at right back. Dan coming in alongside Tompkins. Saka on the bench. And Saka obviously had to come on for an injury to Scott Dan. So all of a sudden now we are looking quite light in that position. Hopefully Cahill can get back for the next game coming up in midweek. But first half, I thought up to about 10-15 minute marks, it was very even. Then Palace started to take a little bit of a forward step into the game. We had some really nice attacking moves down the left-hand side. I thought Van Aanholt had one of his best games going forward. Some lovely moves, lovely little cut back, and we had a goal obviously disallowed. Jordan Ayew putting it in from a lovely cut back from Patrick Van Aanholt. Chiarte ended up somehow missing the shot and scuffed it forwards, And obviously, Jordan Ayew then came in from an offside position to put the ball in net. VAR used correctly, but signs there that, although it was very even and between two sides, and even though Palace was starting to grow into the game in terms of possession, I think we finished the first half with about 60% possession. We didn't really show any signs of scoring. Neither team really looked like scoring necessarily until that disallowed goal. And I think Palace then started to go up a gear or two, not necessarily looking very clinical and looking like we're going to score on every attack, but starting to take control of the game. And as an away side, especially to a place like Turf Moor, away to Burnley, really hard to do. So I was really impressed with how, again, as I mentioned, with the makeshift back four, I say makeshift with a weakened back four, who had and our first choice back four has obviously conceded goals in the last few games as well. To have this makeshift back four come in second choice and to play the way they did against Barnes and Wood, who have been scoring bundles of goals of late, I thought they did fantastically well in that first half and over the 90 minutes. And of course, second half. In the first half, going forward, we were fantastic at certain points, and ZAHA, what can I say? Back in the goals, I feel like Wilf is back. I really do. I feel like he 2-2, and I know that doesn't sound overly impressive when it's taken him 13 games before the Liverpool game to score a goal in the Premier League. We know he's been very close. I think he hasn't had the best of seasons by his own admission. He would say that, and I think the fans would all agree on that as well. But one thing he has had is that typical work rate, the ability to beat players. Is already this season he's good 10-15 dribbles, completed dribbles, ahead of the second best dribbler in the league. So having that sort of talent, that sort of ability on the ball, you are going to create chances for not just yourself, but obviously the rest of the team. There will be opportunities coming from that. I'm so happy that it's now starting to pay off for Wilf. Lovely little pass from Dan. Wilf typically on the left, cutting inside, and the low shot. Pope should have done better, really. He shouldn't really have gone in at the near post, but he squeezes in because of the power. And, I love that from Wilf. I love the fact that he's getting the shots off more now. He's starting to get them on target. And going in at half-time 1-0 up was big in this game. Because I think at 0-0, it really could have gone either way, because Burnley didn't have the best of first half. It was a scrappy half in general. Second half Burnley came out a lot better. They should have got an equaliser. Dan came off just after this moment. He went down with a little knock. He went onto his knees, headed the ball clear, went down on his knees because he was struggling with the knock in the first half. He felt it wasn't going to carry on. And then Chiarte, for some reason, tried to header the ball back to him, not knowing Dan was already down on the floor holding his knee. And so it goes over Dan. Wood lashes onto it, pretty much a one-on-one. It's a little bit of a tight angle, but a one-on-one nonetheless, and he balloons it over the bar. And that's that bit of luck you need, really, as a side. And it's things like that, when that happens and you're in the lead away from home, it's that little bit of luck you need, really, and that sign that it's probably going to go your way over the rest of the game. Schlupp ended up coming on for Townsend. I think Townsend had a good game. And then Schlupp made pretty much an instant impact. You know, Ben Mee not really clearing the ball properly with a header. Great first touch from Schlupp. And then one touch to set himself. Bang, fires it past Pope. Again, it was through his legs, I believe. So I don't think he should have really let that in. I'll have to look at the replay again. But fantastic to see now players coming off the bench and making instant impacts. We saw it with Benteke against Liverpool, his involvement in that goal for ZAHA, and now we're seeing it this game with Schlupp in the immediate game after. So really good signs, and all round finishing up with 2-0, and not just two goals obviously, which is important because we don't score that many goals in general. So seeing us score 2 goals is brilliant, and obviously a disallowed goal, so it could have been even better. But we're starting to see now, obviously, with a defence, as I mentioned, 2 injuries to the defence going into the game. Another one with Scott down, so Saka came off the bench to replace him. We're obviously looking light, as I mentioned, that area now, so hopefully some of those injuries will come back. Or those players will come back from injury. But we're starting to look now with that clean sheet today that we can, you know, hopefully go on a run in terms of defensive displays. Guaita, again, another clean sheet for him. Fantastic stuff. Obviously, after the run of form that we've had, even though it's against tough opposition, for the defence to get a clean sheet today was big statement, I think. And it's really great news with the fixtures coming up. We're now 1 point off of the Europa League places, 1 point off of 6th. I'm not going to get carried away, but we're in and amongst that. I know it's very bunched up the table, and as the season goes on, teams will start to drop away. Palace may be one of those teams, but we've got really hard fixtures done and over with. We now, until then, even after the new year, we've got the next 5 or 6 games are all winnable games. One of them being Brighton, of course, and we need to do one over Brighton. We're due a result against Brighton after what happened last season. So overall, really happy with this result. I'm buzzing. I'm so happy Wilfer's got a goal, that Schlupp made the impact off the bench, that the team collectively managed to defend well when 2-0 up. So many times we score and then instantly concede, and we look shaky from corners. I know there was a moment or two where Burnley should have scored, but it's that bit of luck you need as a side. And on another day, you know, we do need to sharpen up defensively from corners still. As I mentioned, Burnley probably should have scored from a corner in the second half when it was still 1-0, and at 2-0 as well, they probably should have scored from a corner. So got to shape up there, but again, it's a second string, even third string defence that we're playing. So I'm not too concerned, but that is one thing we have to try and sharpen up on. So happy, just so happy we've got the result, and onwards and upwards to next week. It's now getting to that busy Christmas fixture period into December. If we can go on a good run in December like we did last season, who knows, we're notoriously really good have really good finishes to a season. We finish strongly in the second half of seasons, so who knows where we're going to be at come the summer. But I'm not going to get carried away at the moment, but we really needed a result after the run of games we've been on. I'm so happy we've got it today. Fantastic stuff. Your thoughts down below, guys. Like, share, subscribe if you're new to the channel. Onwards and upwards. Come on, you Palace.